Have you ever been hung up on an ex or stuck in the past relationship and unable to move on? Well, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Whitney Cobrin, a dating and relationship expert and love coach. And today I'm going to tell you how you can let go of the past and finally move on.
What if they all right? Baby, can we still shine? Tell me that we'll be fine. Always still in love. Hey, what if they all right? Baby, can we still shine? Tell me that we'll be fine. Always still in love. Yeah. What if they all right? Still shine. Tell me that we'll be fine. Always still in love. What if they all right? Baby, can we still shine? Tell me that we'll be fine. Always still in love. What if they all right?
Hello,
Baby,
welcome,
can
welcome
we
back.
still
So,
shine?
today we're going to be talking about how to let go and move on. And this is so important. Let's think about what will happen if you don't let go. If you don't let go, you can't move on. Maybe there wasn't a happy ending from what happened in the past, but you're going to be stuck in that unhappy ending rather than being able to close that loop and be able to move on and start a new story that could have a happy ending. And we're going to look at today why it's so hard to move on and what you can do about it to actually be able to move on. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is why it's so hard. And if you've ever seen this image, I know in my psychology textbooks it was always in there, but the iceberg, where there's a little tiny tip of iceberg above the water, but a big, huge iceberg underneath the water. Well, that is your mind. And the little tiny tip that is above the water is our conscious mind, what we are aware of, what our conscious decisions are. This is where you make goals and decisions about your life. But your subconscious, the big part that's under the water, you may not be aware of, but that is leading your life. So anytime that you feel this internal conflict of, I want to let go, but I can't, or I want to achieve this goal, but I can't, you know that your subconscious and your conscious mind are duking it out. So there is a battle happening between what one wants and what the other one wants. And our subconscious mind is programmed to keep us safe. That's why it's so hard to reach a challenging goal, because your subconscious mind will think about all the dangers. Well, what if I make a ton of money and then people want things from me? Or what if I make it and lose it? Or what if I try really hard and I fail? All of these fears will hold us back and keep us stuck and keep us in our comfort zone. And it's a very similar thing happening when we are stuck in the past. Our minds, our bodies, we get programmed just like computers, right? I don't know if you realize this, we have created computers in our image. We have a lot of the same defragmenting and processing. So let's think about it like that. When you were with that person or when you were experiencing that past event, it felt good. And you began to be programmed to want that thing, to need that, to enjoy that. Let's just assume it's a person. You're having a hard time getting over an ex. And so you're programmed by being around that person all the time that that's what you want, that is your everything. And then all of a sudden, let's say they're gone and it's over and you just can't move on. It's hard because deep down, you have these feelings that you want to stay attached, that there's hope of getting back together, that maybe this is the best you can ever do. And so the first step to being able to let go and move on is to acknowledge, what are your actual thoughts? What are you actually thinking about this? And you might have very contradictory thoughts of, I'm ready to move on and be with someone else, and I really miss this person and I wish we were still together. And just know that that's super normal to have these conflicting views. So, this is the first step. You want to ask yourself also, what is the payoff of still being stuck in this past? What am I getting from it? How am I feeling better, right? Justified. So this might look like if I'm hung up on the past and I'm asking myself, what's the payoff? Maybe if you have kids, you really are trying to be with that person still because there's kids involved and you really want them to have the family. Maybe you just have really positive memories, and now in your current life, you're not having those happy, positive memories. So you are still wanting what was in the past. Your payoff, it might be about being right. Maybe you made a decision a long time ago that that is your person, right? You committed to them, you're loyal, and you don't know how to break that commitment. It's just not something that we're taught to do. We're taught to make commitments and keep them. Granted, a lot of people are quite good at breaking their commitments, but some people really struggle with that. And so I want you to go through this process with a lot of compassion for yourself. Don't beat yourself up in this process. That is totally counterproductive. We want to be able to sit with the thoughts and then sit with the feelings. So when you are thinking about this, it might bring up uncomfortable thoughts, negative feelings. You might want to cry, you might get angry. But instead of just going around those or shoving them down or ignoring them or going and relying on your favorite coping mechanism, drinking, smoking, shopping, whatever it is, instead, you want to sit with that emotion. So sitting with it means that you focus on it, you feel it, you let it give you all that feeling that you really kind of want to ignore. This is the first step, is just sitting with it. And then we can't just let go, right? If you've talked to other people and friends and family, they might just say, well, just let it go, move on, come on, let's go. And it's just not that simple. We need to process it. We need to get through this step. So after you are able to journal and write down all the thoughts around this thing, and then sit with the feelings that come up around that for a while, right? Maybe for some people in 5 minutes, they'll feel like they've been able to feel those feelings and process it. For other people, they could sit for an hour and maybe need some more time. It's a lot like meditation. I would recommend, if you have a hard time with silent meditation, to have some music, maybe even add some movement to this practice of just sitting with the emotion. And then you want to think about, of all those thoughts that came up, which ones are you ready to let go of? So this is where we connect the thoughts from the unconscious, subconscious mind to your conscious mind. In your conscious mind, you decide, okay, I realize that I'm hanging on to this because I think that there's still hope of getting back together. But I realize there is no hope. It's not going to happen. So you need to first give yourself permission. Say, I am going to move on from this. I am going to let go of this. If you never make that decision, it's going to stick with you and be really hard. So it's going to be important for you to decide, and no one else can decide this for you. And you can only do it when you're ready to do it. But it's a huge step to decide, I'm going to let go of this belief or this thought or this tie that is tying me to this person. And then you want to visualize letting it go. So thank it, because there's been some sort of payoff, right? It's given you hope, it's given you good feelings. Acknowledge that it was there for you, but you no longer need it. And visualize sending it away. Maybe you put it in a hot air balloon and watch it float away. Maybe you drop it into the middle of the ocean, like in Titanic. Maybe you light it on fire, send it in the mail, whatever it is. Really visualize as clearly as you can saying goodbye to that belief. Another thing that you can do to make this more physical is to find an actual object that represents that person. Or maybe you just write on paper and let that paper represent this tie that's keeping you stuck and in the past, and then destroy it, rip it up. If you could safely, in a safe place, light it on fire, let it go. There's a symbolic gesture to this, but it really does help us align what we're conscious of and what we're not conscious of. So we want to acknowledge what the feelings and thoughts are that are keeping us tied to it. Sit with that for a while, feel it, let it fully incubate and fully give you the message that it needs to give you, rather than pushing it down. Even if you have felt this a lot over years or months, it's important that you consciously decide to sit with that and then make a decision that you're ready to let it go, that you're ready to move on, state it out loud, and then visualize sending away this old tie. And then bring your attention to your heart and imagine your heart just coming back together and sealing up and healing. Imagine giving this healing energy to your heart. And when it comes to our energy, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So just imagining and putting your attention on your heart will allow your energy to go to your heart space, and just giving yourself some soothing touch, holding yourself, giving yourself a hug can be very nurturing when you're going through this kind of difficult letting go process. But you want to absorb all of the healing energy that you can, because it depends how you look at this. If you look at it like, oh my gosh, I'm letting something go, I'm so scared, I don't know what's going to happen, I need that, you'll be in this panicky state. And we don't want that. That's not going to be conducive to this healing process. So instead, bring all your attention to healing yourself and feeling good about this, being proud of yourself. You don't want to stay stuck in the past forever. Part of you does, but you know that there are better things out there for you. And in order to move on and create that happy ever after, it's important that we are able to let go, move on. And I'll say something also about forgiveness. Forgiveness is not for the other person, right? If somebody has wronged you, hurt you, left you, broke your heart, whatever they've done, it sticks with us, right? That heartbreak, that anger. But when we can, if we hang on to it, it's like you're taking poison, expecting them to die. You having this stress and this anxiety and this worry about it, even again, if it's not very often in your conscious mind, but it's still in the subconscious mind, you might be dealing with a lot of stress around this and not even realize it. So you want to also be able to forgive in the process of letting go. And forgiveness, again, it's not for the other person. It doesn't matter what they did, how horrific their acts were. If you keep holding on to your anger and resentment, that's only going to be poisoning you. So again, when you're ready, this is part of the process of letting go, is to forgive, to say, I forgive. It's done. It's over. I'm letting it go. And then the next step is to solidify the new going forward and being able to move on. To solidify that, I want you to think of a thought that reinforces what you really want going forward, something that gives you hope. So some of the thoughts that you wrote down in the beginning might have been, I'd really love to be with my ex. They were the best. I'm never going to do any better. So we're letting all of those go. We're sending them away. And you want to replace it with something like, I'm excited for my future, or I know that moving on is the best thing, or I'm ready for my next step. Whatever it is, it should be something that is inspiring to you and reinforces your goals and where you want to go and what you want to do. So I know that this can be a really hard process because we want to hang on to the past. But if you want a new future, if you want to let go, and at some point, it's pretty much always going to be important to let go of something that is keeping you stuck and holding you back. So follow these steps and you'll be able to let go and move on and eventually create your own new happily ever after. All right, I'm not sure if there's something that I should do to end.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go.
If you enjoyed the program today and got some benefit out of it, I would love to hear from you. You could reach me at my website, whitneykobrin.com. That's WHITNEYKOBRIN.com. And for ladies who are looking to improve their love life, their self-love, their dating, their relationship, I invite you to download my app. It's called Love Coach in My Pocket, and you can find it on Apple and you could find it on the iTunes Store and Google Play Store.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go.
If you enjoyed this program and if you got something beneficial from it, I encourage you to follow the program and also reach out to me through my website, whitneykobrin.com. That's WHITNEYKOBRIN. And if you are a lady who is looking for love or looking to improve your self-love or turn your love life around in some way, please download my app. It's Love Coach in My Pocket, and there are courses and community and lots of resources for you there.
Three, 2, 1, go.
Hi, are you single right now? And do you feel like people around you act like that's a disability? Are you sick of people giving you a hard time about being single when it's actually a choice and you're far better off being single than being in any kind of relationship that is unhealthy or draining of you? So that's what I want to talk to you today about, is the joys and unexpected delights of being single. I'm Whitney Kobrin, dating and relationship expert and love coach for women. And I hope you enjoy the program today.
3, 2, 1, go.
Are you single and tired of the people around you acting like it's a disability, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you'll find someone soon"? Blah. That's what I want to talk to you today about. I'm Whitney Kobrin, a dating and relationship expert and a love coach for women. And I want to talk about being single by choice and the unexpected delights of being single.
Three, 2, 1, and go.
Hello, I'm Whitney Kobrin. Thank you for being here today. And I'm a love coach. I worked as a matchmaker. I work with a matchmaking company. I am all about love, and I love love. And I love helping people find happy, healthy, amazing, lasting relationships, reinvigorate their relationships. But I want to talk about the opposite of that today and talk about being single, because I've talked to a lot of single people over these years doing what I do, and not one of them enjoys other people feeling pity on them or acting like something is wrong with them, or, oh, honey, you're just being too picky. Just settle for someone. Or, telling you that maybe you're trying too hard and you just need to relax and let it happen. I will tell you that your perfect partner is never going to just show up in your living room when you're Netflix and chilling by yourself. No, it doesn't just happen for everyone. It does take some effort. It does take some work, and I bet you've tried the dating apps and websites. You've gone on blind dates. You've worked on yourself and read all the self-help books. Maybe you've gone to therapy or counseling. And if you're still single, I just want to say there's nothing wrong with you, like, at all. Being single is not a bad thing. So I want to talk about some of the unexpected delights and good things. Number one is, if you have ever been in a relationship that is toxic or unhealthy or not fun, then you know that it's far better to be single than to be in a relationship like that. And so I know there's a lot of people out there that would just rather be with somebody than be alone. And they're putting up with a lot, and they're suffering, and they're holding things in. And so when you're single, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to deal with that toxic energy. You are free to make your own decisions. And if you are single and just taking a break, right? Because there's different ways of being single. One is maybe you're single, but you are actually seeing people and dating people. You're just not in a relationship yet. And that could be really fun. I love that phase. And I know it gets a bad rep because dating is complicated these days. And there are catfishers and ghosters and the guy on the oil rig that says that he needs money for his son, and these scammers. And yeah, I've seen it all. I know that it's not fun, and people can really burn out on that. So if you are somebody that's been single and you've tried dating and you put it all out there and it just got overwhelming and tiresome and felt like you were spinning your wheels, swiping and texting, and nothing's really leading anywhere, you are not alone. I feel you, I see you, and this is happening a lot nowadays. And so when that happens, it's not a good approach to just power through it and just keep grinding, right? I think we're all kind of waking up to this concept that hustle culture and pushing ourselves no matter what can really harm our well-being and even our physical health. So we need to be in balance. So that means maybe you let up off of the dating apps and take a break and, use that time for yourself, whether that means starting a new workout routine or starting a social activity, right? There are so many options. And just because somebody's single, it doesn't mean that they're lonely. And it certainly doesn't mean that they have to be lonely. You have friends and family, most likely. If not, there are so many ways now to meet new friends, to just find things online, find events through Facebook events or Meetup or Eventbrite, and go out and meet some people and hang out with people. And you don't have to feel lonely being single. And if you are single and looking, I encourage you to not only go to singles events and like looking for that person. Be open to making friends. I know when I met my late husband, it was because I had made some new friends on Meetup, and then I started hanging out with them, and then they invited me to their friend's party, and then I met more people there, and it just kind of happened as this chain of events. And so when you're too focused on one singular outcome, like I'm going to this speed dating event and I want to find my partner, then if that doesn't work out, you could end up really disappointed. So we want to take the pressure off, keep it kind of casual, allow yourself to be relaxed and be yourself, be authentic, be true to yourself and how you're feeling, and enjoy it. Enjoy yourself. It's like when someone really wants a baby, it's worth enjoying the time before the baby, because that's going to change a lot when all of a sudden you don't have time to yourself very often. So while you're single, I encourage you not to look at it as a bad thing and feel lonely, and definitely don't get lost in your head with, the downward spiral of, I must not be lovable, I must not be good enough, it's never going to happen for me. None of that is helpful, and I hope you don't do that. And I hope that if that starts to come out, that you have some sort of tools or practice like self-compassion or meditation or embodiment or movement or something where you can get yourself back into out of that negative spiral. That said, it is very normal to have that yearning for a partner. So if you're capable of having, both of these thoughts in your mind at one time that may be contradictory, that can make you feel very whole and at peace to say, I am content with myself single, and I do want a partner. They could coexist, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be working really hard and desperately chasing after finding a partner. Sometimes when we try too hard, it can be like in baseball, if you hold the bat too tight, you can't hit it properly. Or if you catch a butterfly, right? If you hold it too tightly, you could crush it. So there's always this sweet spot, this balance of being open to the new experiences and wanting to invite a partner in, making eye contact with people, giving your number out if somebody seems interesting. We want to be able to do that and balance it out with not feeling like there's too much pressure and too much demand on that. And it's great when you can use that time to not just improve yourself, because I kind of I'm in the self-improvement field, but I have this belief that if we're always trying to be better, if we're trying to change who we are, then that could become a negative influence in our life also. So it's not just about, I'm going to work on myself and I'm going to become a better person so that I attract a better person. I mean, there is truth to that, yes. But really what it's about is you're not becoming something different. You're actually shedding all of the things that are holding you back so that you can truly be yourself and truly shine. And that, in my opinion, is the goal of self-improvement, is to really be your best self, to be your most authentic self, to be able to release and get past our fears that keep us playing small and stuck in our comfort zone and afraid to, go talk to the cute person over there in the corner of the room. We want to let go of the fear, the self-consciousness, the insecurities. When we let go of those things, that's how you become a better person. That's how you improve yourself, because you can just be more agile in your world, more dynamic, able to go with the flow and run with the punches. And when you are called to show up or to be your best self, that you're less shut down or less encumbered. That's a great thing that can come from being single. So pay attention to that and ask yourself, if you are single, Are you going about it like, oh man, yeah, I'm single, kind of deflating, want? Or are you like, yeah, I'm single and I'm using this time to enjoy what I like and explore what I like and be my best self? And that is such a magical place to be. And it does help you to attract a partner who's going to be, on that level with you. Um, I know people that have gone to on so many first dates and so many singles events, and they're just not finding their person. And usually they're very anxious about it. So if I could give you one tip to improve your love life, to improve the way you feel single, to improve the chance that you'll find an amazing partner who loves you for you, is to work on being more at peace and more relaxed and letting go of this anxiety and worry and fear and insecurity. And I know that might sound like a tall order. If that's something that you feel stuck in, reach out, find a therapist or a coach. I mean, this is something that I work on with my clients. But there's a lot of different resources out there, and find what works for you. I know that meditation has amazing benefits that have been scientifically proven. And yet I know that meditation is not for everyone, but there are other options that you could do as well. So if you're not into meditation, maybe you do something with movement. I actually saw a YouTuber that tried standing on one foot for 5 minutes for a whole month. And she thought it was going to be ridiculous, but she actually was someone that couldn't just sit down and meditate and get much benefit from it. Overactive mind, was always getting in the way, just this antsiness in the body. But when she just tried standing on one foot for 5 minutes, it had all the benefits of what a meditation is. So keep trying new things, keep seeking answers. You really don't want to go into your love life, wherever you're at in that, with anxiety and worry and stress and fear. We want to be able to work through that. And communication really helps with that too. Maybe there is something that's weighing on you or something that is unknown, and that's why you're feeling anxious. So it helps to talk about it. It helps to be able to communicate with those around you, those that care about you, about what you need and how you feel. So this is a great tip that I give to people, even when they're dating and in relationships, that when we're dealing with conflict is actually an opportunity for intimacy. When we open up, when we're vulnerable, when we share with somebody how we're feeling and what we need, it actually creates more closeness. So there are tips and ways to do this, right? We don't have time to get into everything today. But really what I want to focus on is, if you are single, there's nothing wrong with you. And you hopefully know that already. And I encourage you to live it up and enjoy it. Do what's healthy for you. Do what's right for you. Go to therapy. Go to a counselor. There's group programs. There's all kinds of different options. There's information everywhere. Sometimes just getting the information isn't enough, right? How many times have you signed up for an online course or a free guide and then you don't even look at it? So that's why sometimes it is good to have a therapist or a coach that will actually meet with you and make sure that you're learning the things and practicing the things and implementing it into your life, right? Someone told me recently that no one hires a coach for information. They hire the coach for transformation. And I 100% agree with that. So if you are sick of people saying things like, well, maybe if you focused on your career less, then you'd have better luck. Or you're such a catch, it'll happen for you. Yeah, we don't want to hear that, right? We know it'll happen when it's time. So keep your chin up, enjoy yourself. And when you're ready to find that partner, I would love for you to reach out to me and I can help you. You can reach me at whitneycobrin.com or download my app, which is Love Coach in My Pocket. Thanks, and see you guys next time.